Before the 1955 Emmett Till murder and Rosa Parks' pivotal act of civil disobedience, while Dr. King was still a student at Morehouse College and Malcolm X was being introduced to the principles of Islam, there was Harry T. Moore. As State Secretary of the NAACP, Moore fought tirelessly decades before the civil rights movement as we know it began. At times working with Thurgood Marshall, Moore fought for voting rights, equal pay for teachers. He sought justice for victims of lynching and filed lawsuits against voting barriers such as all-white primaries. On Christmas Day 1951, Harry T. Moore and his wife Harriet V. Moore were assassinated when members of the Ku Klux Klan bombed their home in the small rural town of Mims, Florida. Mims is a historically black community located on the east coast of Central Florida, which later, with the establishment of Kennedy Space Center in 1968, would become known as the Space Coast. The Moores represent Mims' brightest stars, but the history of this community, my hometown, is a constellation of many families to remember, such as the Campbells, the Warrens, the Siglers, the Bartons, each with countless stories of greatness to tell.
One such story is that of Jeff Kyler, who settled in Mims in the late 1860s, just after emancipation. Kyler purchased land from what is now Kyler Road all the way east to the Indian River. Kyler planted and maintained then lucrative orange groves on the property and later donated over 10 acres to the county for the establishment of Mims Colored School.
From 1936 to 1946, Harry T. Moore not only taught 5th and 6th grade at Mims Colored School, he also served as principal. Over the years, the school has undergone several transitions. In 1956, it became known as East Mims Elementary School. In 1959, pointing back to the former owner of the land, it was renamed the Kyler School.
In 1964, when integration became law, the school shuttered with no specific plans on how to repurpose the facility. School board records show a Kyler Elementary School dedication service on May 1st, 1960. The dedication plaque that still stands outside the doors of the school reads the Normandy School, dedicated in 1970. A rededication service was held 40 years later on January 28, 2011.
Folks raised in the community still remember attending East Mims Elementary School. They speak of a time when East Mims was a place with thriving black businesses, tight-knit families, and proud black men, hidden figures who served as the first black engineers and executives of the nearby newly established Kennedy Space Center. Two such hidden figures were Nathaniel Pilot, the first EEO program officer at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Pilot married Bernice Kyler, a descendant of Jeff Kyler. The land that Kyler purchased in the 1860s remains with their descendants today. Another was Robert H. Tooley, one of KSC's first black engineers, who later served as a supervisor in one of the shuttle-era firing rooms. The Tooley's homestead still stands at East Mims, owned by their daughter, Tracy Tooley Means, a local educator. The decline of East Mims in recent years has been a concern to many in the community. Recent school statistics showed that the schools that serve East Mims show the worst graduation rates in the county. Black-owned businesses that once thrived in the small community no longer exist. Employment and educational opportunities are difficult to access with no public transportation running through the community. There is a pervasive feeling of being stuck or cut off from the rest of the county.
The Tooley Community Development Group was established in 2020 to address the decline of the East Mims community. Named after NASA engineer Robert H. Tooley and Brevard County educator Earlene R. Tooley, the organization immediately gathered a governing board of local professionals and developed a plan to address 4 stated community needs as expressed in county comprehensive plan data and surveys conducted over the years. The plan is articulated in the Tooley Community Development Group 4-pillar strategy, including affordable housing, education, economic development, and history, arts, and culture. Strongly embracing the asset-based community development model, we were able to quickly recognize the Kyler School as an underutilized community asset. We began devising a plan to leverage this asset, not only to bring the school back to life, but also to address the needs that the community had identified in past surveys. A recent state analysis shows that by the year 2030, Florida will have a deficit of approximately 800,000 technology workers to support the state's growing space industry. Our proposal to address these needs is to transform the Kyler School into the East MEMS Innovation Labs at Kyler School, a workforce training center that would prepare residents for high-demand, entry-level aerospace technician jobs. The Kyler School is ideally located and perfectly designed with spaces for training trades such as welding, soldering, and other technology skills. This unique project can not only revitalize the historic East MEMS community, it can also support the local and state economy. For more information on this transformative project and the East MEMS community and how you can get involved, contact the Thule Community Development Office.